Hello friends, good morning everyone. I hope you all are fit and fine. So today I am back with a new topic from 10th standard English course book. But before going to learn, I will like to ask you some questions. So friends, do you like to read book? Some books are very favorite to us. Then how should we decide this is our favorite book or this is our favorite book or not? Sometimes you like language used in the book, is the language of the book. Sometimes you like the characters from the story. Sometimes you like the theme. Sometimes you like the presentation in this book. There are some reasons to become any book favorite to us. When you were asked to talk about your favorite book or to introduce about your favorite book, which point or which things you will take into consideration? Or which specialities you will take into that book? First of all, the name of the book. Then the type of the book. Type of the books means, is it a short story or is it a biography or is it an adventure story or is it a historical book, etc. Then you have to tell about the author or the writer of the book and his or her specialities. Then the main characters in the book, background of the book. Then if there are any problem or dilemma, then you have to tell it then. Any special message which that book conveys to us? So friends, why I am giving you all this information today? Because today we are going to learn, we are going to study a book review in unit number 2.5. Book review Swami and Friends by R.K.Narayan. So friends, let us study about the book 10th standard English course book, unit number 2.5, book review Swami and Friends by R.K.Narayan. Friends, what is the meaning of book review? Book review is a study of that particular book and concludes its merits and demerits. In Marathi, we call it Pustak Samikshan. So let's study about book review today. And the name of the book is Swami and Friends by the author or the writer R.K.Narayan. So let's study this book review paragraph by paragraph. So open your book, page number 69. I am going to read the first paragraph of this lesson. Let us know a little bit about the book. Anything I mention about the book can be mistakenly understood as spoilers. So, as I would rather give a glance into the book without mentioning any events or plots of the story. So here, in this first paragraph, the critique of the book. critic means who gave a review of this book. We may call samikshak in Marathi. So in this first paragraph, the critic or here the writer says, I don't want to spoil the book. Spoil means to damage by meaning any plots or any events of the story. I don't want to spoil the book. मला पुस्तक बिघडवल्यासारखे होईल मी हे करून. काय केलं तर anything I mention about the book can be mistakenly understood as a spoilers. So in the first paragraph, the writer says, I don't want to spoil the book by mentioning any plots or any events of the story. Swami and friends, but would just glance to it. He says, just I want to glance on the book. Glance means to peep or to look into the book. So, we will see the next paragraph. Swami is a mischievous little kid of about 10 years old and living in the era where India was under the British rule. Like most kids of that age, Swami is a kid who cannot stay at one place and absolutely hates school. Even worse, mathematics. School is his absolute nightmare. Anyway, the story unfolds around the happening of this kid and how he constantly gets into trouble and gets a good beating from his father. So friends, in the second paragraph, we come to know that Swami is a very mischievous type of boy of 10 years old and living in the pre-independent period. स्वातंत्र्य पूर्व काळामधला हा 10 वर्षाचा मुलगा named Swami. And at that time, our country, our India was still under the rule of British Empire. Swami, who was a very mischievous boy, cannot stay at one place. Means he was a very restless boy. He was a very restless child or a restless kid and very much hated school. Very much hated school. So some school was like a nightmare. Nightmare means horrible or bad dream. In Marathi, we call दुःस्वप्न किंवा भयानक अनुभव. शाळा म्हणजे त्याला he called it a nightmare. एक भयानक अनुभव वाटायचा. So school was like a nightmare for him. And this story tells us very mischievous activities of this child named Swami. And after that, he constantly gets into trouble and get a good beating from his father. So, now let's see what the third paragraph tells us. दुसऱ्या paragraph मध्ये आपण पाहिलं, here is an introduction about the boy, mischievous boy named Swami, and now let us see what the third paragraph tells us. Third paragraph, Swami is a talkative little kid and thinks that's his way of facing life, talking himself out of everything, but he does learn the truth the harsh way. As many teens back then, all he wants to do is play under the sun, kicking something, climb a tree, break something and harass somebody. Unlike kids today, this in fact was and in most parts of India still is. The life of a typical boy growing up, technology isn't big in a kid's life. All they want is to play havoc. So in the third paragraph, this paragraph tells us that this boy Swami is a very talkative boy. He's a very talkative child. He likes to talk continuously. Talkative means in Marathi we call badbadya. Badbadya mulga hota ha खूप. And this is his own way to face life. It is his own way. And he talks about everything to himself, but he learns the fact of life in a harsh or little bit cruel. A little bit cruel way. Like any common teenagers, he wants to play under the sun, like to kick something, climb on the tree, then breaking some things or to harass something. Nowadays, it has become a rare in case of little kids. In a kid's life, technology isn't important. आज जरी हे मुलांच्या बाबतीमध्ये कमी झालं असेल थोडंफार प्रमाणात भारतातल्या, तरी सुद्धा टेक्नॉलॉजी इजंट इम्पॉर्टंट. दे जस्ट वॉन्ट टू प्ले. मुलांना फक्त काय असतं, जस्ट वॉन्ट टू प्ले. टू प्ले हवॉक, इट्स अ फ्रेज. टू प्ले हवॉक मीन्स टू कॉज डॅमेज, टू कॉज कन्फ्युजन. इन मराठी दंगा मस्ती करणे, हाकार उडवणे, हेच लहान मुलांना, या 9-10 वर्षाच्या मुलांना हवं असतं. सो दिस इज अबाउट द थर्ड पॅराग्राफ. And in this passage we come to know about Swami's characteristics. What do you know about this character, the little child, 10-year-old boy? Swami is a mischievous and talkative little kid of about 10 years old. He can't stay at one place. He hates going to school, hates mathematics even worse. सर्वात जास्त गणिताचा त्याला तिटकारा आहे. And school is a nightmare for him. Means school is a frightening or an unpleasant experience for him. He always gets into trouble and a good beating from his father. All he wants to do is play under the sun, kick something and climb a tree and break or damage something and harass, means trouble somebody. This is the typical life of the kid. So this is about the second and third paragraph. Let's go ahead. Fourth paragraph. In what way is Swami a typical boy in his growing years? In this regard, Narayan gets deeply into the working of Swami's 10-year-old mind, explaining exquisitely how he thinks and what his perspective of the world is. The reader does feel like Swami and gets very attached with the character as the story progresses. That's the magic of Narayana. That's the magic of R.K.Narayan. Here, Narayan exactly described the feelings, the emotions of a 10-year-old boy or a growing child, and his perspective. Perspective means point of view towards the world. Readers feel Swami in themselves. हे पुस्तक जसं जसं पुढे वाचत जाईल तर वाचकाला वाचक स्वतःला त्या स्वामीमध्ये पाहायला लागतात, त्यांना त्यांचं बालपण आठवत जातं. Readers feel Swami themselves and get attached with that character. And as the story progresses, and that's the magic, that's the achievement of Mr. Narayan, R.K.Narayan. Now, let's see the significance of the book. Swami and Friends by R.K.Narayan is not merely an interesting read that could be enjoyed from top to bottom, but the work attributes a lot of literary values, even if it is a teen book. Here, in the significance of the book, it is said that this book gives us full of enjoyment. And though it is a book of a teenager like you students, तुमच्या वयाच्या मुलांसाठी लिहिलेलं हे पुस्तक कुमार वयांसाठी जरी असलं, it preserves a lot of literary values also. Literary value means in Marathi we call साहित्यिक मूल्ये. Now let's look into the next paragraph, page number 70. Swami and Friends is a good read for the kids and teens alike. Also, the book is widely used in the Asian continent as a study text for the students who study literature as a subject at schools. This does not mean that the book is filled with heavy grammar and technical jargon. Actually, the truth is in contrary to this. So, here it is said that this book is good read for all the people, to all ages. It is used as a study text. The students who study literature in Asian continent, though very heavy grammar or a very technical jargon means very professional and polished language, which is difficult to understand. Means in Marathi we can say शब्द बंबाळ लेखन, काही साहित्यावर असं लिखाण शब्द बंबाळ. It is not used here. It is totally opposite or contrary of that. पूर्णपणे त्याच्या विरुद्ध असणारे पुस्तक आहे. Means the review of the book Swami and Friends tells us about R.K. Narayan's simple and lucid style of writing. The book has no heavy grammar or the words that are not difficult for the people to understand. The style of his writing is very simple and lucid. It has a great literary values. English used in the book is both simple without any troubling words for the kids. The simple and short sentences are used in this book by the author. The English used in the book is both plain and simple without any troubling words for the kids. The simple and short sentences used by the author adds to the simplicity of the book. The writer used very short sentences. Let's see the next paragraph. Swami and Friends is written in such simple English, it is hard to imagine that it is a work of such a literary genius like R.K. Narayan. The English used in the book is both plain, simple, without any troubling words for the kids. Also, the use of simple and short sentences add to the simplicity of the book. It is mentioned in the description that the book is about a mischievous 10-year-old Indian boy. And some parents may be concerned about the influence this will have on their already mischievous children. But the book is as such that it encompasses the mischief of the kid in a view of the kid which is harmless and pure in his perspective. Also, amidst all the mischiefs and naughtiness, we actually find that Swami is a loving and a tender kid who is actually very sensitive. It is also a known fact that mischievous kids are the most sensitive and loving people of all. And R.K.Narayan does a great job conveying that to all of us. So, it is said that in this book, very simple language is used by the author or the writer. It is so simple that we can't believe that such a literary genius means very wise person. Literary genius means in Marathi we call विद्वान साहित्यिक. एका विद्वान साहित्यिकाने असं एवढं साध्या भाषेमध्ये पुस्तक लिहिलं असेल याची आपल्याला कल्पनाच करता येत नाही. So we can't believe that such a literary genius has used such a plain and simple language. Plain and simple language in this book, Swami and Friends, which can be easily understood by the kids. Very simple and short sentences add simplicity to the book. Means here the writer used a very short and simple sentences. Now next paragraph. It is mentioned in the description. We have already read that paragraph. Here in this paragraph also it is said that as it is a story of a very mischievous kid. It is mentioned in the description that the book is about a mischievous 10-year-old Indian boy, and some parents may be concerned about the influence of this will have on their already mischievous children. Now here in this paragraph it is said that as it is the story of a very mischievous kid like Swami or a very mischievous boy, some parents may change their view or anger toward their already mischievous children, as it encompasses means to focus or to include, as it is encompasses beyond those mischief, the view of the kid is very harmless and pure. In another word, दुसऱ्या शब्दात सांगायचं झालं तर असं म्हणता येईल, some parents may be worried about the description of the mischievous 10-year-old boy in the book. त्या 10 वर्षाच्या ह्या खोडकर मुलाबद्दल वाचून काही पालकांना सुद्धा चिंता वाटते. का? Because they think that might influence their already mischievous children. अगोदरच खोडकर असणाऱ्या मुलांवर त्याचा आणखी प्रभाव होईल की काय, ही चिंता त्यांना वाटते. But the reviewer reassures them that behind those all mischief, the view of the kid is very harmless and pure. Though Swami is a very mischievous boy and a very naughty kid, but he is very loving and tender, who is really sensitive. In Marathi, we call संवेदनशील आणि भावना प्रधान असा हा मुलगा आहे. And it is a known fact that mischievous kids are most sensitive and loving people of all. And Mr. R.K.Narayan has excellently conveyed all these things to all of us in this paragraph. Now let's see the next paragraph. So, in conclusion, it can be said that this book is a good read for children of all ages who may just enjoy a good read or who may want to improve their English skill. So, what is the conclusion of the book review? So, what is the conclusion of the book review? That this book, Swami and Friends, we can say in the conclusion that there are two advantages of reading this book. First of all, first one is that the book is a good read for children of all ages. Just enjoy reading. Just enjoy reading it. This is the first advantage, that it is a good read for all children of all ages. Children of all ages. And second one is that you can improve your English by reading this book. And now let's see about the author. This is the last paragraph of this lesson. The author of Swami and Friends is India's one of the greatest author of all time, R.K.Narayan. R.K.Narayan is responsible for many of the outstanding literary work India has ever produced. And this book is particular, captures the essence of India under British ruling and the mind and life of a typical teenage kid. Other great works by Narayan include Malgudi Days, The Guide, The Painter of Science, and many more literary works such as the Ramayana, a shortened modern prose version of the Indian epic, and the Mahabharata, a shortened modern prose version of the Indian epic. Go take a look at them if you are interested. Here, in the last paragraph, in the end, the information about the author has given. Mr. R.K.Narayan is the author of this book, Swami and Friends. He is one of the greatest Indian author of all time. He contributed a lot. He contributed a lot in outstanding literary works India has ever produced. Apart from Swami and Friends, other great works by R.K.Narayan are Malgudi Days, then The Guide, The Painter of Science, and many more literary works such as the shortened modern prose version of the Indian epics like the Ramayana and Mahabharata. If you are interested, so friends, go take a look at them. I hope you understand the book review of Swami and Friends by R.K.Narayan. So friends, we have completed this lesson 2.5 review of book review Swami and Friends by R.K.Narayan. So as usual, I would like to tell you, solve the exercise, that is English workshop given under the lesson, given below the lesson, page number 71, 72 and 73. So watch the video again and try to solve all the activities under the lesson. Okay.